What is up, everyone? Let's jump into another one. This one, we're starting with a draft where we're in round 7. We're at the turn, 7-8 turn, and I'm getting myself in a pickle when I'm here at the end of the draft, which hasn't happened until now. And I'm not digging what I'm seeing in any of the drafts that are like this. Basically, this one here, I'm committing to a ridiculous build already, basically. I have only one wide receiver through the first 6 rounds. We're going to change that. We're going to I have 2 wide receivers through the first 6 rounds. We're going to change that, of course, at this turn. We're going to grab 2 more wide receivers. Things broke relatively well for us. The player I was really rooting to get back to us was Deontay Johnson. Didn't even make it to the round 7. That being said, I was concerned when the end of round 6, being around 7 was more wide receivers. Luckily, huge run of tight end, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, tight end, a little break, then another running back here in the 7th round, which basically made it so that there were at least some players available for me. And I don't think I'm going to be in as ugly of a position here. I'll get 2 wide receivers. They'll take me to 4 through 8 rounds instead of 4 through 7, which a lot of people say. So I'm a little behind, but I'm not horribly behind. I also have, I don't know if they're the greatest running backs, with one of them being Rachaad White, but I got 3 running backs, and maybe when I look at this team, it's where I grab 1 more and then I'm done or something like that. With 3 players that are 3 of the upper tier running backs. No tight ends yet. We'll have to figure that out, of course, as we go through the draft. Goddard's coming up here, so I think, let's see, what's my next play? I got the 108, 109. Yeah, so Goddard basically has an ADP of like 108, 109. So it's going to be tough what I'm going to do with that turn. Do I take a tight end to pair with Jalen Hurts? I think I have to, basically, or I mean, you don't have to, but I think I probably will. Is it like tight end, wide receiver? There's a lot of interesting running backs that might be there at 108. If one super falls, maybe I'll take one, but I think it's probably going to be running back tight end at the 108, 109. But right now we're going to take Brian Thomas Jr., who I don't really take at all, but he's, let's see here. Is he slightly, let's get the sort right here. 88. Both the receivers I'm taking are slightly, I'm taking a little bit of ahead of ADP, but they are 2 of the top 3 on the board. I'm not going to take Addison just because I need bodies, and Addison's going to be out to start the season. And I mean, I don't have anyone from Chicago. I don't have any Chicago or Green Bay, which if I did have, well, not Chicago, if I had Green Bay, I might consider it more, but I don't. So I'll take the Jacksonville guy to pair with ETN, and then a Seattle guy who has a late bye, which hopefully means that I can maybe pair him up with Geno Smith or something like that to have. And that kind of says, can I wait? Like this Charbonnet is my 4th running back. That would be an interesting one. And try to do like a Seattle thing. I also have an option of a Tampa Bay stack here too. So and a Jacksonville stack. So I'm gonna have some options as we go through this. I don't want to panic, but keeping the options open, considering how stretched thin I am at wide receiver right now, is probably a good thing. So we're gonna go Brian Thomas and JSN. Someone's gonna get decent value here, like Dak's fallen past, Kyler's fallen past, Raheem Mostert a little bit past. I would have been like to take him just because I haven't drafted him at all. And Jordan loves that ADP now. So there we go. Some interesting names there. Next one, round 18. I had a lot of my targets fall off the board. We're Where are they? Walker would have been nice to pair um, with our quarterback since we have Lamar Jackson, and then we also had Johnson queued up as a tight end, just late round tight end, as because we only really have one we have two, Cole Kmet and Isaiah Likely. We don't have anything exciting, so trying to get something that might be exciting like Johnson, but unfortunately he was taken as part of someone else's three tight end build, Luke Musgrave, Chig, and Johnson. With this pick, the 18th round pick, I think I'm going to go JJ McCarthy. He's fallen well past ADP at this point in time by a little over a round. Let's see if let's just check really quick. Where's the Jefferson guy passed up on him? Do any of these teams have a reason? So 3-3-3. He has two QBs. He has no reason to take JJ McCarthy either. So we might be able to push him around one more round if we wanted to. But I don't think it makes much sense to. Let's see if it does. Yeah, based on ADP, we got Tucker Kraft as the next tight end we want to take. Where is he based on ADP? All the way down here. And then we have Bo Melton. So we're just going to go Green Bay to end if everything works according to plan. And I think JJ McCarthy's an interesting play here. He's going to be unstacked, but I have massive bets on Chicago and Green Bay and Minnesota play, and I don't have the quarterback and Seattle. And I don't have the quarterback for Seattle or Chicago. And Minnesota plays both Seattle and Chicago in the playoffs. And so there might be one of those situations where I'm betting on those teams, and there might be one of those situations where that game spikes, and the Minnesota quarterback's part of that spike week. And since I can't correlate with, I don't have the Chicago quarterback or the Seattle quarterback, then I benefit that way. If, for example, Lamar and who do I have? I have Lamar and I have Love. If Lamar and Love don't hit for some reason like that, so it's weird to take an unstacked quarterback, but I feel like I have so much playoff correlation that I'm hoping it makes sense here in the 18th round. I have basically a built out team, and so 18th round we're going there. The only concern I kind of have is that I have my tight ends are going to look ugly. Cole Kmet, Isaiah Likely, and then Tucker Kraft. I do have a good amount of upside, and I'm hoping that Cole Kmet provides a solid floor. But this Tucker Kraft bet could bite me in this one if he just doesn't play at all. But I'm hoping that he just is part of the target share for Green Bay and part of my bet on Love also. So we're going to start this off with going JJ McCarthy. Next one. So this is the board where we took Jamar Chase in the first. We're now in the fourth round. We have T. Higgins for us here to give us hopefully control of the board with Cincinnati. And the plan will be to try to force Burrow at least to pick 93. Let's see what his ADP is right now. It's 85. So I think it is still going up even more. So I think it's easier and easier. It goes up. So we're going to try to force it to 93 at the very least, depending on what's available. We might try to force it to the 100. That gets, I haven't successfully been able to push it around that turn though. So who knows if we'll actually do that or not. That being said, this might be the draft that we can do it in, because if we look at ADP, we got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes as the top two picks available based on ADP. And I'm hoping that they go and these picks right after me. so that it gives me more cover because of the other people's builds. It gives me more cover to push Burrow around, possibly. So we're going to go Higgins here and try to execute this Cincy thing again if we can do it. I'm sorry, we're going Higgins, trying to execute the Cincy thing. Okay, last one. This is the one where we pushed Love around and we got him past ADP by a decent amount. And we're now in round 11. We tried to push Goff around the board. Someone ended up taking Goff where relatively quickly and unstacked. Nope, okay, he's stacked with Montgomery. The as close to the unstack, the stack unstack they got there, I guess. I don't I don't know why he took him, but he did. So he's not going to be on our team. So we still have Cousins and Stafford. My first gut instinct is to take one of those guys, but when looking at the board here, I think I'm definitely losing Stafford. This guy's got Puka Nacua and Marvin Harrison, and so he is rather incentivized because that's a bring back in week 17 to have Matthew Stafford on his team to pair with Puka Nacua and Marvin Harrison. The team in the 12 spot already has two QBs in Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams. And he's got Drake London, and that's the only other Atlanta guy off the board. I mean, like on that side of the board, I should say. The other team is Washington. They have Terry McLaurin right here. So that's a little bit of a risk if they want to like do a late stack with a bring back. That could happen. He's also got like a Denver thing, he's maybe starting a Denver thing here or a Carolina thing as well. So it's a little bit of a risk if he's looking at the bring back for us to push him around the board. But if we push him around the board, we can end up with Blake Corum, which does correlate with our team, or Wicks, which does as well because we got the QB. So those are both interesting plays if we want to do it. So it's a tough call. Now we already got 5 wide receivers. And there's a lot of other players further along on the board that I can partner with Green Bay. But I don't want to go too heavy on one team just because we already got Watson, and that's probably our big bet right there. We can also get Musgrave later on, or even, their number 2 tight end later on, Tucker Kraft, if we miss out on Watson. And then we also are probably going to be targeting in this draft, if we can, Lloyd also. And so we could end up with a lot of Green Bay and still try to build out our running back room. Having Taylor, Warren, Robinson, and then Corum as my first 4 running backs on the team sounds exciting. I don't need the wide receiver right now, considering if I do get Cousins, where did Mooney goes? What, like 150s, 155? So I'm probably not getting Mooney and Lloyd since they go around the same time. I do have other, I can just build it out with whatever. I got five and what? The first, what number of rounds? 1, 2, 3. I got 4 in the first 5, 5 in the first 7. And so I could make this like a 6, 6, or even stop here if I truly wanted to, and then grab some guys at the very end of the draft in like 19, 20 more for Atlanta's available. And then we got the number 5 wide receiver for Green Bay also, which I think is an interesting pick there too. And so we can be very selective, I think, at wide receiver if we want to. And we can, if we do get a running back here, then we can also maybe just choose to be selective everywhere and really just kind of go for interesting build, like, just all a bunch of luxury picks basically. If we do miss out on Cousins on the way back around, there still are a decent amount of quarterbacks available. I only got 1 tight end right now, so I could get Musgrave again, but if I wanted to like get a different tight end later on, that was maybe like the last of the 2 tight end builds, you're talking maybe Aaron Rodgers and his tight end is probably like the last, or a Baker Mayfield and his tight end. These 2 right here would be the last of them if I wanted to, and either of them would work if I had to do it. I do want to try to get more aggressive with these as opposed to just like taking the player because that like I want the most, because it's the most like not risking it. And I do think in this case here, if we take Corum here, it's kind of a risky play, but it also sets up my team hopefully to hit bigger if everything breaks correctly. We get Corum. So that's what would happen here. The ideal thing would be Corum, Cousins, Lloyd, assuming Stafford goes and what goes. Corum, Cousins, Lloyd. We have 5 running backs. We have 2 quarterbacks. We have 5 wide receivers and a tight end. And then that would take us to like pick 151. And then if it happened, now we're maybe hoping, then we get Luke Musgrave in the pick after that. So that would be the ideal. And I think we want to shoot for ideal a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Blake Corum here. Blake Corum again correlates with I got a stack going on with Cooper Kupp right there. And then if I have to get Aaron Rodgers, that would be a bring back in week 16 if I have to go that route. We're going to see what happens. We're going to get aggressive. Blake Corum it is. Okay, there's the 4 drafts. Let me know what you think. See you on the next one. Peace.